Drew explains why Hollywood has turned on the Sussexes. Oh, wait, and I can't forget, I asked ChatGPT to write a poem about Prince William's Olympic years for my LA Diaries. Harry and Meghan Markle are on their way to Colombia, so no better time to remind the world that Prince Harry openly discusses recreational drug use in his book Spare. Harry remembers an incident in the book where a tabloid editor claimed to have pictures of a then teenage Harry doing cocaine in an attempt to blackmail him into doing an exclusive interview. The palace called the editor's bluff. No photographs ever surfaced, but Harry admits that he was, in fact, using cocaine at that time, writing, well, his ghostwriter writing, "Of course, I had been doing cocaine around this time." At someone's country house during a shooting weekend, I'd been offered a line and I'd done a few more sets. It wasn't much fun and it didn't make me particularly happy as it seemed to make everyone around me, but it did make me feel different. And that was the main goal. Feel different. I was a deeply unhappy 17-year-old boy willing to try almost anything that would alter the status quo. That is what I told myself anyway. This week, a friend of Prince William's told the Daily Beast that Prince Harry should apologize for doing cocaine as a young man on him and Meghan Markle's trip to Colombia. The friend said Harry admitted to doing coke in his book. His trip to Colombia should include an admission that the country has been destroyed by narco-terrorists servicing wealthy drug users in the West, and he should stand up and apologize for his own participation in that disgusting trade. That would be a helpful intervention. The Daily Beast points out that drug-related crime has made the South American country one of the most dangerous places on earth to live. It has one of the highest murder rates in the world, which completely explains why a man that is hyper-obsessed with the safety of himself and his wife would hop on a plane for a friendly visit. Harry and Meghan's trip to Colombia is expected to begin on Thursday. Media friends, I am literally begging you to stop calling these hillbilly holidays royal tours. These two quit their royal responsibilities due to a lack of qualifications and an inability to handle the demands of the position. In a statement announcing the visit, the government said that Harry and Meghan were visiting in recognition of their global leadership in fostering a safer online environment.
KCC Supermarket. Pinakabarato ang siguristang meat. Sa KCC Supermarket lang bumibili. Kung saan, preso, ikot ka pa ng budget mo. Sa KCC Supermarket, kumpleto. Dahil lahat ng hinahanap mo, andito na.
While the quote from Prince William's anonymous friend to the Daily Beast might come off as a little petty, I do find it an authority on safety online for children. Not only in Spare, but in interviews promoting the book, Prince Harry discussed his recreational use of magic mushrooms, marijuana, which was illegal for a significant portion of his life, still illegal in Britain, as well as psychedelics as a form of therapy. Adolescent drug use remains a frightening health concern in the United States. According to drugabusestatistics.org, 50% of teenagers have misused a drug at least once, and drug use went up by 61% among eighth graders between 2016 and 2020. Teenagers are turning to the dark web in droves to purchase illegal drugs or medications without a prescription. And if you're wondering, the dark web is a part of the internet that is intentionally hidden and not accessible through standard web browsers, unlike the surface web, which includes websites indexed by Bing and Google. The dark web requires special software to access. This network ensures that users can stay anonymous by routing traffic through multiple servers, making it difficult to trace. The dark web is often associated with illegal activities because it hosts marketplaces for drugs, weapons, stolen data, and other illicit goods and services. But it's not just the dark web. Parents also have to be concerned about social media. In May of this year, dozens of parents rallied in front of Snapchat's headquarters in Santa Monica to protest what they say is the platform's responsibility for their children's deaths. According to ABC7, the parents believe Snapchat failed to take adequate steps to protect children from buying illegal, dangerous, and often mislabeled drugs through the online platform. The parents argue that Snapchat is a marketplace for drug dealers peddling dangerous pills to children, and in some of their cases, those pills led to fentanyl deaths of their children. Prince Harry, to me, is a walking contradiction. You can't promote illegal drug use, but also announce that you're going to be the internet savior for children, not when drugs mixed with online activity have had such catastrophic consequences. Harry and Meghan will continue to be rejected as thought leaders because they jump on any and every trendy bandwagon that comes society's way. There have clearly been no strategy sessions where the pair are laser focused on campaigns or causes they truly, truly are passionate about. And every single interview that they do, every piece of content, action they've done over the past year, they should have been moving towards a specific goal, moving towards a specific direction to strengthen their credibility in that space. That's not what they've done. It reminds me of that Charlie Day meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They say one thing and do another, and it completely contradicts the previous messaging. And far more damaging, gives off the rules for thee, but not for me vibes. Prince Harry's Travelist company says their goal is for travelers to make more informed travel choices that reduce their trip's environmental impact. Yet Prince Harry and Meghan Markle take private jet after private jet. Worse than that, last October, they flew a private jet to a Caribbean island just days after attending a conference on the impacts of climate change in New York. Then you have Harry campaigning to change the rules and regulations around tabloid media in the UK, multiple lawsuits over violations of privacy, while writing a tell-all book that published a word-for-word conversation between two other people. You're not even on the receiving end. It was a text conversation between your then girlfriend and your sister-in-law. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle famously filed a privacy lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday newspaper for printing a private letter she wrote to her father, Thomas Markle, and they heavily documented that process on their Netflix reality show. Revealing details about your brother's private parts, violating the privacy of your own family members within the pages of Spare. How were they so blind to their own behavior? Broadcasting to ITV's audience that your wife is not safe in the UK, but taking her to Nigeria and Colombia, where the US and these two have appointed themselves as the internet police, while their fan base spread such heinous and malicious misinformation about the Princess of Wales that she was forced to come out of recovery to announce that she was receiving preventative chemotherapy and needed additional time to heal in peace. Then there was
Kasi may new easy way na ang East West Bank. Now you just sit back and relax. From accounts, check deposits, installments due. There's many more in-app for you. With the new Easy Way app, everything's easy. Sit back and relax.
then there was Meghan taking up the time Up movement. This was under her brand new royal platform, financial equality for women in the workplace, only to pay the one female in a leadership position at Archwell less than half of what the highest paid male at Archwell earned. And the same 40-year-old woman that repeats the story of a schoolgirl asking executives to change a commercial that said, "The gloves are coming off. Women are fighting greasy pots and pans with Ivory Clear ad nauseum," is now hawking a Netflix cooking show where she is fighting greasy pots and pans with love and light. Do you think Harry and Meghan have clear goals? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe Harry and Meghan's mixed messaging is one of the reasons that you're seeing Hollywood stars drop off the face of the earth when it comes to Sussex association. But the Daily Express spoke to a New York-based public relations expert named Ron Torresian, who gave his verdict on why Harry and Meghan have become less appealing to celebrity friends. Some of his points are thoughtful. He says that it's clear that several of Meghan's high-profile friendships have cooled over the past few years, noting that Meghan indirectly highlighted her lack of friendships when she gifted a limited batch of her American Riviera orchard jams. That's interesting. I always assumed that she was trying to make the product look exclusive, but he could be right. And to work off of that theory, all 50 did not share their jam on social media. No mentions from Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, or George and Amal Clooney. Ron argues that some celebrities might want to avoid any potential fallout with the reigning British royal family. I'd say that's a pretty good call. Here's where Ron loses me, adding, it's not necessarily about Harry or Meghan themselves, but rather the complex and polarizing controversies that continue to follow them, despite their attempts to step back from public life. Ron, is accepting a Pat Tillman Award on national television after not only Pat Tillman's mother, but over 78,000 people sign a petition saying you don't deserve it, stepping back from public life. Is not one but 3 reality television shows for Netflix stepping back from public life? Are covers of Variety magazine and The Cut magazine stepping back from public life? You had me up until that line, Ron, but thanks for playing. Do you think Harry and Meghan have attempted to step back from public life? Or do you feel oversaturated with H&M content? Let me know in the comments below. The internet had a collective meltdown during the Olympics closing ceremonies over the weekend. Because of Tom Cruise falling out of the sky, you might ask? Absolutely not. It was Prince William's beard. What a freaking hunk. I not only wanted to chop down my own Christmas tree with the man, I wanted to cover his body in flannel, put on a vodka, and listen to him talk about smoking meat. I don't always associate Prince William with the lumberjack, but when I do, I consider writing an entire series of fan fiction about it. P.S. You know I'm kidding, and I absolutely adore Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as a couple. I thought she looked beautiful in the video, and I was ecstatic to get a surprise sneak peek of our princess, our favorite princess. But I did ask ChatGPT to write a poem about Prince William's beard, and it did not disappoint. I want you to insert dramatic music here. Things are about to get weird. Okay, are you ready for this? This is my dramatic reading of a poem written by artificial intelligence about Prince William's very handsome, very glorious beard. In the morning light, it gently gleams, a royal beard, like in the dreams of princely tales and noble sights. Prince William's beard in soft sunlight, a trace of gold with hints of brown, a crown upon a crownless brow, majestic strong, yet soft as air. It whispers of a regal air, each strand in place with Caroline, a mark of time, of thoughts refined. No brash display, but calm and neat, a fitting frame for words discreet. It speaks of wisdom, years gone by, a princely charm, none can deny, the face of duty, yet so warm, the beard that breaks the royal norm. In winter's chill or summer's glow, Prince William's beard will always show a timeless grace, a silent might, a royal feature, pure delight. Well, I think it did the man some justice. That was beautiful. Do you like Prince William's beard? You have to let me know in the comments below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, God bless you. Comment with a crown emoji or the word queen so I can see. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kinsey Schofield.
discuss this, I can think of no one better, is the royal biographer, Angela Levin.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But part of the mess, I would like to tell you, I think is extraordinary, that if you weren't getting on with your father, if you weren't getting on with your brother, and you really wanted to make it that would really annoy them to pieces, would you? I mean, I think this is an appalling way to behave. They've got no reason to do it. I think they want to do it because they're going to stay in a four-figure sum bedroom with all their own pond and all the rest of it there. And I think it's impossible, because it is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. But there is a but on that, is that Sophie went to meet the same woman that Meghan is meeting, the Vice President Francia Marquez, to talk about women who were not treated very well. And she wanted to try and help her and suggest what could be done. So that was in 2023. I was absolutely astonished when I read that, because she's very close to the royal family and they wouldn't want Harry and Meghan to do that. But they obviously don't seem to mind Sophie doing that. So it can't be absolutely as bad as everyone's trying to prove. But it's very, very dangerous. I mean, the Vice President, Francia, has people have been trying to kill her several times, and that is with actual protection. So for them to do this, particularly that they're so keen that they have top-rate protection in the UK, and they don't think it's good enough to them. So they're coming to one of the worst countries in the world for safety. So, what do you make of that? I think it's a way to slice the king again, to be unkind, to be very difficult, and to make him furious. Colombia is not in the Commonwealth, but nonetheless, it's a very dangerous thing to do.
And what's your take then on, normally with these kinds of visits, if their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, wanted to go on some foreign trip, you would have to put in the request to His Majesty's government and of course the palace itself. Now, as far as we know, none of that has happened, right?
No, but they didn't do that when they last went to Africa 2 months ago. They didn't do that.
So this is causing all sorts of foreign policy headaches, isn't it?
Yes. The other place did cause lots of foreign policy headaches, because the man whose plane they borrowed, and they won't go anywhere unless they have a private plane, was owned, I think it was £20 million he owned in America, and they were trying to get hold of him. So it doesn't look good if you are there. They're not representing the royals, but they're trying to represent the royals, and you look like someone who is actually a criminal, or you sort of wonder what's going on, what's happening to us in London. If you're behaving like that, you cannot, unless they break themselves completely, they haven't got the right to do that. And I think this will be very annoying. It was very, very upsetting for the king and infuriating for William.
All right, yeah, I'm going to bring in Charlie Rowley and Matthew Laza, who still join me now. I mean, Charlie, the fact of the matter is, what Angela's saying there is that they continue to cause headaches. Should they not have lost their royal titles to begin with to avoid this being an issue?
I think that's probably right. And I think, we do like things slightly more black and white in these circumstances. You're either in the royal family or you're not. And so this sort of halfway house that they've been able to have, so having the titles still, or using the titles still as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, all the while bringing out an autobiography that sort of slams and criticises your own family, where you have fallen out with your father, who is, the head of state, not just for us, but, across the Commonwealth. It's trying to have all of the perks of the royalty that they were part of, without any of the responsibility and without any of the ways and means of just how the family operated. So they have a platform, they have to use it responsibly, but I think there will come a time actually where King Charles may just have to say, you know what, enough is enough. If they're going to do things off their own back, which is going to be detrimental to the UK, or to make it even more difficult for the UK, so the Foreign Office might have an issue with a country in which they've decided to visit, and that country will use it to their advantage to say, well, we've just had a royal visit, even though they're not royals or working royals, then that will be complicated at some point.
Matthew, as a Labour man, are you sort of annoyed on behalf of the government that actually they're causing these kinds of sort of diplomatic nightmares?
Well, yeah, I think people may think that, you know, I think Meghan might hope with her sort of political stance that a Labour government might be more sort of pro them. But I think you're absolutely right. Whatever the government, the colour of the government in power, they are going to have issues with a pair who are trooping around the world, taking foreign policy into their own hands. Because at the best, they're going to be naive. And as we've seen, they can be exploited either by governments potentially like Colombia or by rich people who lend them a plane to try and, you know, whitewash their, curry favour or whitewash their reputations.
The problem is that it's not up to King Charles to take away their titles. It has to be done through Parliament. And if they take away his titles, he still remains a prince and she will become a princess. And I don't think they necessarily want that either.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to handle it. I think the fact that they've drawn back rather than trying to have open doors all the time. They're not closed, but they're not, is to try and work out something to do. It's quite enough now. And this is a game, I think. They'll love it. They'll go to every single country they can find that is actually inappropriate because it's punishment. And Meghan in particular is determined to take, to be very powerful
revenge.
and revenge.
Yeah. And, well, revenge is the word, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's really depressing, actually, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's a family. It's a family that doesn't, a grandfather that doesn't see his grandchildren. And it's sad at its very core.
Yes. And so they can't get together because you can't fulfill a whole in an argument in just 10, 15 minutes.
No.
You need it for weeks and they're not ever going to come for that.
Angela, thank you very much as ever for your time. Matthew and Charlie, thank you to you too.
You've got the business idea. Now, give it the right address.
Snoop Dogg with them, but that is nice. And it was great. Everybody's talking about Williamsburg. It is maybe he needs a couple more weeks, and that will be just awesome. But still, you know how our Williams fans, and I'm sure that many of you, Rogues, fancy that look. We're gonna talk about Williamsburg, and Catherine was looking great smile, great disposition. I'm sure she's recovering really well, and it was nice to see her with her smile. And some of you were asking if she has like highlights on her hair. I think it's more like the sun was doing that effect. And at the same time, they were recording this with this, the filters that force that blurring of the background so they could pop up. But it was great to watch them. Of course, people began to think, oh, is this the same sweater that she used on that video? No, it's not the same sweater, thanks to Anna Soft Soul. But I guess that Catherine just likes sweaters with black stripes. But it was nice to see her. But at the same time, we got some comments like, I usually don't mention royal commentators, but I couldn't help myself this time. Richard, why did you why did you become like that, Richard? Is that just holiday stubble, or is Prince William following his brother's example and growing a bird? Hashtag royal. This is stupid, because we all know that William at some point had a bird before Harry. And not only that he's comparing William to Harry, but he made sure to pick the worst possible frame of the video in which Catherine didn't have even a proper facial expression. It's like it's done on purpose. I picked, for example, this frame. I think this frame was nice. William looked nice, and Catherine's smile was great. But no, Richard had to pick the worst possible frame for Catherine. It's something that it looks on purpose. It's like, let's stir trouble. Let's be edgy like the Royal Rogue. No, Richard, you don't know how to do this. Keep doing your thing. It's consistency. I'm telling you, it's consistency what wins the race. You cannot be edgy like I am. And of course you have to pick who to be edgy with. Sabira alone, Prince William 2008, and the other clown 2008. Richard E. Can Kick Rocks, who had a bird first. And yes, thanks to Sarah's Secret, we got a few pictures of William with that era. I remember that those pictures. I don't know exactly which engagement it was. It's a good thing that he learned since then that you cannot it is maybe not that a good idea to wear a tie with a pattern and with a shirt with lines. It's a bit of a distortion, but I will give him a pass. He learned the lesson. He haven't done that ever since, but the pictures speak for themselves. It was rocking that bird. I remember that I asked that question once on my channel. Do you think that William should grow a bird? And I got many answers, like about 80%. No, he's nice as he is, and it's so comical. Then when he is out with a stubble, it's just more like a stubble. Then so many of you are actually melted. I know how that works. Don't worry. I know how all of that works. And also, Melanated Mona chime in. Prince Harry did not invent the royal bird. Nobody is copying his miserable behind. Sit your miserable asses down somewhere. And Richard Eden, well done for instigating this nonsense. Yeah, you know that that is instigated. That is the kind of things that when news from the royals are, a bit slow, since it's summer after all, and you know that they have to make up for these things. And anyway, now that we're talking about William versus Harry, what's the brouhaha about William? Harry has not one but two birds. So beards, sorry. Oh, I forgot that. I'm just gonna record all this video from the beginning. I know that it's not bird, it's beard. I always forget that, and you keep correcting me, and it's all this English pronunciation that doesn't make sense. I just remember, yes, birds are the ones who fly in the sky, and beard is the thing that I'm talking about. Thank you for putting up with me, my rogues. But yes, Harry has two beards, if you know what I mean. You know, right? And just if you're not aware, rest in all
Help me! Oh no! Please help me!
No, no, no! Don't move.
Rest in Dollface has a brand new YouTube channel. If you haven't followed her yet, go and subscribe to her channel. She's making live streams, and she started this thread on X, talking about this strange reasons why Megan is trying to some kind of relate herself to blonde women. It's like this fixation is a nice thread. I don't know if Resting Dollface is going to make a video about this. I hope so. But it is interesting in many ways how it's like you see that Megan has tried to relate herself to Princess Diana, to Gwyneth Paltrow, to Martha Stewart, and she keeps doing this over and over again. It's like, what are you trying to prove, Megan? What are you trying to do? And why are you trying to lie to people with this? Thanks to Jen Carson Taylor, perhaps you need to alert the president and vice president of Colombia. You know, this photo and press release word salad was issued by the Memes team, Queen's Commonwealth Trust, when she firmly said that they no longer represent us as working members of the royal family. Harry and Meghan abuse her legacy through their actions. And yeah, we have this tweet by Presidencia Colombia. What? Noticias a cambio. El príncipe Harry y Meghan Markle, duque y duquesa de Sussex, visitarán Colombia por invitación de la vicepresidenta Francia Márquez. So it's official. And they're using this picture, which reads Queen's Commonwealth Trust. And no, they do not represent the Queen's Commonwealth Trust anymore. They're not royals anymore. I mean, again, I have to correct myself. Harry is still a royal. That's something that he cannot do, but they are not like in the sense of working royals, like part of the firm, right? And no HRH and all that stuff. So, and it's funny that they paid that. How many years does that photo have? Like 5 years or something like that? Like 5 years? Maybe 4 years or 5. I don't know. It's around that time. I would say that it's around that time. Why do they pick? Why did Archwell gave them such an old picture? Well, you know, right? You know why? Because they had to use that background, and maybe they were too lazy to Photoshop things this time. But again, I'm trying to make this videos a bit more spontaneous, my rogues. You know that I'm working on 3 channels at the same time, so I'm trying to prepare better for them. But again, trying to bring back at least the videos, the daily videos of the Royal Rogue, because I know that you have asked, Jesus, we want daily videos. Maybe I will not make daily lives for at least until the end of August, but maybe on my Bottle Language Guy channel. But I will be making sure to make a daily videos to update you on the Royals and the Temu Royals and everything that is going on here. You know that I'm going to give you maybe a couple surprises in the very near future. Good surprises. So My Royal Rogues, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And remember the most important words, much love and bliss.
Manalo ng